Alright YouTube, in this video I'm going to show you how I have created this awesome looking portfolio website using GSAP. So how does it works? So if I refresh the page, you should see a preloader, and once the preloader ends up, you see there are two portions, the background image and the front portion, which has some description about me and a button. So if you click on a button, the animation gets start. So you see when I click on the button, what happens is previously it was 30% height, then it became 100% height, and after that what happens is this blue color bar comes from top to bottom, and this black color bar comes from bottom to top, and then this section slides from the left, and then we have this image sliding from the right. So if I show you, let me refresh and show you. Preloader, if I click here, and if you click close, so this is just a combination of all the previous video which we have done. So if I show you how I have made the preloader, it will be available on the playlist, or it will be available on the description to follow along. The next thing, we have seen how to use the timeline in the previous video. This is going to be the episode 2. So basically what timeline does is, timeline makes sure that each animation is sequenced properly. So as I said, this is a nav bar, so let me make it as a nav bar, and once I click here, the nav gets full height, and then from top to bottom, let me show you the code, and this is the timeline. The first one is for the cover image. The cover image, previously it was 100% and I have made it as 60%. The cover image gets into 60%. Don't worry about the source code, I'll give the source code in the description. Then we have navigation bar. So this is a navigation bar, we have 100%, and then we have the rectangle which is sliding, and we have the section about the details sliding from the left, and then we have another rectangle sliding from bottom, and then we have the cover image, the side image of the cover comes from the right. So this is clear because we have already covered it in the previous video. The next thing is how to use the timeline when I click a button. So we have a navigation button, so I have called it using the query selector. So we have a navigation button. Once I click on it, there is the function toggle function. The toggle function gets the timeline object. So if you see, we have used the timeline, we have created the timeline, and we have passed it into the toggle. So this is very simple. What is happening is I have added it as a toggle. So if I toggle this, now it is getting reversed. So that's the reason. So if it is reversed, then properly play it in a sequence. If it is already in the sequence, then reverse it. So accordingly, the button is getting the color red and the text close. The same way over here, the button is getting text and the color transparent. So this is clear. Once we click on it, there is a toggle section between the backward and forward of the timeline. We have already covered it in the previous video. Now this is to make sure that if this code is not written, so if I can click double time, so that means it will open and close multiple times. To avoid that, if the animation is active, then don't do anything. That is what this code does. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for listening. Get the source code in the description. So this code is related to the preloader which we have already done in the previous video.